Hi, this is Brandon Moon with Moonlit Fly Fishing. Welcome to Fly Tying Night tonight. Tonight we're going to be tying up a HiVis indicator version of the Foam Assassin ant. This is one of my favorite ant patterns to tie and fish. I love the profile. I love how it sits low in the water column, and the only problem I had was I needed something I could see a little bit better. As I get older, my eyes don't work as well. So here we came up with the indicator HiVis Foam Assassin. Enjoy it, and we'll see you next week. So the hook we're going to be using today is the Moonlit Tagata Premium 102, ML 102 in a size 14. Tie this in a size 16 or 12 as well if you want a bigger pattern. We're going to start our thread roughly about just past the halfway point. We're using Semperfli Classic Wax in black, and we're going to use that tag end to help create a nice smooth underbody, pushing every wrap into the previous wrap. We're going to take and cut a notch at the tip of our foam. This is Moonlit Zero Gravity Tying Foam, 2mm black. You can use different colors to get a different color of ant. And we're going to put that point of that foam just to the hook point of the hook, and then we're going to secure that down and lock it in nice and tight so that it doesn't rotate, and create a nice good base where we're going to put some dubbing for the back body on this pattern here. Now once we've secured that down, we're going to take some black kapok dubbing. We like the kapok. It floats 30% its body weight and dubs super fine, so it's easy. We're going to take a nice decent amount of dubbing and we're going to put it on our thread in a dubbing rope. All I really need to do is take and cover up this foam right there. So I'm going to take and go and cover that up. Now we'll take our foam, we'll pull it over. You can see I stretch it just a little bit. And I want to stretch it just a tiny bit. Now I'm just going to secure that down. Once we've secured it down, we're going to trim out so that it's not so bulky all the way through. And we're just going to take and secure down, cover it up with thread so we have a nice good middle section to this ant. Once we've done that, we're going to take some Indian hen neck feathers. I've prepped them already, and I want the shiny side up. I'm going to cross that over. I'm going to lay that stem over across so that when I tie this in, it's going to help push the wings out to the side just a little bit. We'll tie it in at the very tip of that body middle section and wrap just about halfway back that body point. Now I'm going to do the exact same thing on the opposite side. You can use a like cream color or white color for your wing. Either one will work great. Lay that across sideways again. I want the wings to go just past the back end body of this ant. We'll wrap that, secure it down. The wrap in front just locks everything in place. Now I'm going to take my foam that I clipped out. I'm going to create a nice little pointy notch there again. We'll lay that over the top up to just about the eye of the hook. Now I'm going to secure that down with thread, and I'm going to wrap that back to just where the other section of my body was. I can pull this tight if I need to stretch it out and thin it out so I can wrap backwards a little. Here I've got my grizzly hackle, and I've got it prepped and stripped so that I've got a tie-in point, but I also have a 1/4 turn of stripped hackle on the side that's going to lay next to my thread. And I'm going to wrap this forward. I'll get about 4 or 5 wraps, And I'm using the hackle to push my thread forward. And once I've got the 4 or 5, maybe 6 wraps if I can, but I want to make sure and leave enough room at the eye of this hook that I'm not crowding it. So I'll lock it in, pull everything back, and just a few more wraps in front for the head. We'll pull that foam over the top, and I'm going to pull those hackle fibers back as I secure down my foam. And you can see there's a few hackle fibers there poking out forward. I'll just take and trim those out. Secure that down. Now I've got another piece of 1 millimeter bright orange foam. Same width as my black foam. And I'm just going to secure that down. So the foam on this I want to be cut to the same width as the gape of my hook. We'll get that nice over the top, lock it in. Now we're going to take and whip finish. So I'll use the long piece of foam to pull back so I can whip finish right there and not crowd the eye. Good couple turns. We'll do it 2 more times just to give it good safety measure for durability. At this point, I'll just use my snipper tool on my whip finish, trim out the thread. Now I can take and trim my foam. I pull my foam forward, use the eye of the hook to take and tell me how long I want that trim. Now we'll pop off our hackle, and I'll trim just a little bit of a nice rounded somewhat head to this ant pattern. Trim out that HiVis indicator on top just a little bit so that it's not poking out over the sides of my foam body. Allows me to still sight it and see it. Now we're going to turn this ant over. I'll pull the hackle fibers down and I'll just trim out the underside of this hackle so that this fly is going to lay nice and flat. The hackle fibers to the side of this pattern is what gives me the look of legs from my ant. It's also going to give me surface tension to help float this pattern as well. So we're going to trim this out. We don't want to trim it too much. We still want the hackle fibers to help push it out, but we want to trim out so that it lays nice and flat under the water. Once you're satisfied with how that looks, you're done with the fly. I'll just rotate it a couple times so I can make sure and see that I like it. Thank you for watching. We appreciate the support.